into the stream, I just want to say before this start, I've played this game for 10 years, and I've loved it. I beta tested several times. I think this is the first time where I actually have something to say, and I think a lot of other people have said it the same way, but the skill trees, if implemented correctly, can be fantastic. I honestly believe that wholeheartedly. But how do I think that they should be implemented, and how do you think they should be implemented? Blah, blah, blah. And to start that off, I made you a crappy little MS Paint skill tree for you to look at over here. It's fantastic, I know. I'm doing this on stream, so hate me. I made it in 5 minutes. So the red skill bubbles are what are going to be the skills, and the black is the path, and blue is what I'm going to call auto. That's going to be you don't have to spend the points, but we'll get to that later. The problem I see with Wormwood, nobody else's. Wolfgang, I think, especially just needs just holistic changes. Woody's is amazing. I don't think it needs any changes. I think the more the better, but there's nothing that I can really say. It's already done enough for the character to make it S tier and then some. Wormwood needs a lot of love, and it's not necessarily that he needs love in a bad way. It's that some people need to find him more lovable. And that's where I'm going to start with auto. I think auto is going to be one of the biggest things for skill trees. Have perks to where characters can disable. For instance, the new petals. Some people don't like the petals. Who wants a skills slot dedicated to petals? I have 2 or 3 answers to that. One, make it an automatic. That way instead, you can disable it. Don't even have to worry about it. It's a skill that if you don't like, you can disable. Second thing, top path slots. I mean, let's be real. Other characters are missing slots. Why don't we have it to where, like, skill pathings can give you slots? Wormwood's one of the worst characters in the game, and that's okay. Let's decide for real whether we can keep him that way and have him super niche, or actually have him niche but be just as equal to the others. Because we've already got characters that are really good, like Wickerbottom, or friendly characters. Who do you like with the red hair?
Huh?
Who do you like with the red hair?
Wigford?
Wigford, yeah. I beat the game for the first time with her, and I don't think she'll ever need a skill tree, but if she does, it'd be nice to have something character-centric like this, where it's small, but maybe it's just a little music note or something. Wormwood needs something big like this. Wormwood needs a lot of automatic things, Wormwood needs several things to choose from, and we just don't have that. Or if we do, it needs to be more extenuating, hanging down. Everything that he has needs a little bit something extra. Anyway, thanks for my little rant. We are going to play some today, but I just wanted to start that before, I really got into the stream, because I love the character. Plain and simple. And I think he needs a lot of love. See, I'm so mad about the pedal thing because they added it, and I didn't even get to beta test it. Like, they did it in a week. I was so excited for it, but I actually had stuff going on. I would love the automatic perks. Have it to where every 2 days for 5 days you get, like, silly little perks just to make your early game life a little easier, and in steps to where you could tell what you really want to do with the character to begin with. Say at first it's petals, because you lose sanity for picking petals, so instead of picking petals, the person would say, instead of picking petals, I just get one every 10 seconds. And once they start falling out of my pockets, I mean, I can do something with them probably, and it's just like, yeah, you can do tons of stuff with them. If you're a good player, you take 20 of them and you throw them somewhere and they're rot later. It's like 40 health or something for a stack of 20 petals. So, like, cementing your character. Just having, like, perks that you get every 10 to 20 days is fine, but there needs to be a little bit more. I'd like it if day one I got the pedal perk, like they still, had in the last beta. I never got the chance to test that out. And then have a bunch of perks, and then one being, oh, you get another slot, so that actually isn't wasting your slot. It really is just a perk at that point. thinking some more about it, and I just had to come back to it because I really care about the skill trees, so I'm gonna go back into it. What else do the characters need? Well, it's a more of a fact of what the characters don't need, and to give you another, for instance, some more MS crap paint. Wig doesn't need that much stuff. Give her like a little song perk to where, it takes less to make stuff. For instance, feathers. No one's really gonna get feathers. It'd be much easier just to make it to where she memorizes it. That'd be a nice automatic or little skill perk. And then weapon-wise, let's say, the first one towards the bottom is you get extra meat. The one towards the top is extra damage modifiers. Let's face it, everyone can do higher damage than her at this point. It'd be great. Wicker bottom, if it's not that big of a deal, give her a little small book, but what really would make the difference is a bigger book where you actually have stuff towards the higher end where it really matters. And then give her, like, say the one to the left is an automatic. Warley needs something, but what he really needs is early game. So making it to where maybe you could choose one of the bottom 3 perks and move up towards some of the higher perks would be really good for the character, to where, say, for Woody was the perfect instance of why they needed a skill tree. He had a perfect rework, and he's just gotten outclassed a little bit. Skill trees are perfect for that, because it makes it to where if you love the character and keep playing it, you're going to keep playing it. But if they just get outclassed in every sense, then they do. And that's where the survival expertise comes into play. Do I want to play this character to survive? That's where automatic skill tree sets can come into play really handy, and that's where skill trees can come into play really handy, because if you don't want these perks, you can just automatically slate them off, or don't get them to begin with. But if you really want them, then it makes all the difference. And even if a character like, Worley gets 20% more hunger out of food that he really shouldn't, or Wig can craft without feathers, or Winona can maybe just be alive and all of her stuff on the map is fuel constantly. That's the kind of stuff that would really make more people come to the game. To spend 200 to 300 hours to get to that point, it would just be fantastic. I think Winona is a perfect representation of a character that could use a ton. Wes is a character that could use a ton, because they're already fine the way they are. Wormwood is fine the way he is. He just needs a lot of love through the game. While a character like Wolfgang didn't really need it, and I'm happy for it. Let's be real, Wolfgang main was going to be happy from the very beginning. If you disagree, come down in the comments down below. I'll fight you. Two-handed. But if you agree with me, please let me know as well, because I think some of these ideas are way better than, just in the block contextual sense. Of course, there's been fantastic ideas, but Wormwood's skill tree is just as big, maybe a little bigger than everybody else's, and it needs to be a lot. It needs to be a lot bigger to make people want to play the character. A lot of these characters don't need auto perks, but for instance, Wes could be a character that not only needs a bunch of this, but could have it done such a fun way to where, Wes might not be the best resource-wise or this-wise or food-wise, especially eats like a muh. But what you can do is make it to where, you don't need flint for tools anymore, because you mime. You've got a stick and you pretend. Little stuff like that could make all the difference. That's just me. Much love. Thanks. Bye. Bye.